Hello everyone, this is Naj, and this is gonna kinda come out of the blue because I really didn't think I wanted to make a video about this, but some people in the community just asked me to do it. You know what? I'll oblige. There's nothing wrong with it, and in fact, now that I've considered it more, I've realized that it is a very good topic to talk about. So, this is another electronic games in greater detail video, although it'll be in less detail than the other ones that I've covered because there's not as much to talk about, but there still is a little bit. So today, I want to talk about the Circuit Breaker. The Circuit Breaker is a game that is very rare, and I mean very rare. It was released in the US. I don't think it was released in Europe. Maybe in other countries, I don't know. Although, from what I remember, there was a UK release. It was just called something different. I don't remember what it was called exactly. And it was made by a company called Tomi, who you may know from a bunch of other things that they've made since, or even before, because there were a few other things that they made before they went into electronic games. And since then, they've made things like the Gya, which again is extremely rare, as well as the Air Guitar Pro and the Guitar Rockstar, which some people might know what that is. Anyway, it's a Japanese company. It's a company that is well known for making electronic things, so they thought they might as well try their hand in making an electronic game, I guess. The Circuit Breaker looks like a circle, but it kind of doesn't. It's a circle that also encases itself into a triangle, if that makes any sense. So there's a circular part on the inside and a more triangular kind of design on the outside, which is how it's played. So the way it works is there are on the top of the unit itself, which by the way is about as big as a Simon Swipe. It's quite thick. Anyway, on the face of the unit itself, there are 3 metal contact pads that are capacitive. So they're not buttons. You don't need to necessarily press them down. You just have to touch them. And more on the inside, close to the middle of the circle, there are 3 buttons for selecting modes. Each button selects a different mode. And then in the very middle is a start button, which is very big. Now you might be asking, why didn't the game just do random noises? How do you turn it on? There's a switch on one side of the circle. It makes no sound when you switch it on and off, but it makes a very satisfying click noise just from the switch alone. The batteries go in the back. It takes 3 AA's, and just like a lot of other Tomi products that we've seen, the way the battery terminals work is that they go in the same way on all the batteries, so it doesn't alternate, which is very weird. Most other companies don't do this. So, that is the controls and how it works. Now let's explain how the game actually works. So, before I do that, I'm gonna say that I hold it in a way, well, I don't hold it, but I place it on my lap or on some surface, where the switch is the thing that is closest to me on the bottom, like facing me, which means that there are contact pads and buttons for modes on the bottom left, the bottom right, and the top center, as if it was a triangle. Right near each contact pad is one of the mode select buttons on the inside. Although they don't actually do anything. Well, they do, but never mind. So, I'm going to switch this on, and I'm going to press one of the mode buttons, and it will make a sound. I just realized the batteries in this thing are a tiny bit low. When you switch modes, it makes a sound. Let's start out with voice mode. So the way the game works is there are 3 different commands and to do with different genres of music. And to complete those commands, you have to break the circuit between 2 of the 3 contact pads. So you touch one, and you touch a second one, you touch both at the same time, which creates a circuit. If it's the correct combination of 2, the game keeps going. If it isn't, or if you take too long, the game ends. So it's basically like Bop It, but not exactly. I just realized if you press the mode button too many times, you can hear the battery voltage dropping down. Okay, so let's press the start button. No, actually, wait, before I do that, let me explain. So there's rock, jazz, and techno. To do rock, you press the top and the bottom right. To do jazz, you press top and bottom left. And to do techno, you press bottom left and bottom right. In my case. Of course, you can change it around in whatever orientation you want, but you have to get used to where the different sensors are. So, let's go.
Rock, jazz, techno, rock, techno, rock.
The more you go, the more it speeds up.
Rock, techno, 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 rock, techno.
You can also do it very fast. You can make it cut off if you want. Like that. This, perhaps, is one of the most silent, in terms of its mechanics, games. Because all I'm doing is touching the sensors. I can press down on them very firmly like that, but I don't need to. Yeah, I think this is the fastest speed. Let's see if I can actually do this. It goes up to 100. Oh. What's that? It's counting my score now. 60, 70, 80. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 88 out of 100. Didn't make it. So, as you can hear, it does the exact same kind of cipher system as the Super Click It does, as the Bop It original does, stuff like that. One sound for 10, the other sound for 1. It repeats them until there's no more left. Doesn't save a high score. It just tells you what your score is and then it's gone. The kind of underwhelming thing about the Circuit Breaker, by the way, is the fact that you can get 100, sure, but the only thing you're going to get is it going did as you heard then. That's what it will do, and it will basically just stop. It won't give you any kind of further anything. So basically, once you reach a certain number of points, I think it's like 50 or 60, it will do that sound when you fail. So honestly, there's basically... the victory celebration, if you will, is very underwhelming. It is random. I don't think there are too many patterns involved. There might be, but it's very unlikely. So that was voice mode. Let's switch to sound mode and show you what that sounds like. That's jazz. That's rock. And that's techno. I find sound mode much easier. I don't, honestly, I don't know why. It's a little bit like how I prefer beat bop to vox bop on the Bop It Extreme 2. I don't exactly understand why that is, but it's easier for me to tell which one is which through sound. The third mode, which I can't demonstrate, is the lights mode, where it only shows what the lights are and just does the din-din and then stops and plays no sound. And of course I can't do that. I'm gonna stop here. Yeah, I got the victory thing again, even though I got a much lower score. I got 57. So I think after 50, it's like a half victory celebration. It's like, if you get above 50, you've basically gone further than anyone in the game designer's opinion would have gone. I don't know, it's weird. Now, here's what's also kind of interesting, is there is a comment system, but it's sound-based. So if you get a score less than 50 points, it will do different things. I think there's 4 different comments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start a game and do nothing. We'll see what happens. It does that when you get a score of between 0 and 5. I think. Let's get 5. No, you need more. Okay, let's try to get 10. I can hear the speaker making weird noises in the background. There. Sorry about that, I got interrupted by a call. So, I'm not sure if you heard, but it went ooh when you get 10. Let's try to get 20. I think after 20 it gives you another one. Also, it feels very satisfying to press that start button. I just got one more point for good measure. Okay, that wasn't 20, that was 16. So it went, ooh, which is kind of like, you're not that great, but I'll just do something. And I think after about 25 or 30, I'll do one more. There is no volume control, by the way. This was released in 2001, so that's why there's not too much in terms of speech in this, or too many sound files, is because they had to compress them to fit. There, that's a applause noise. Got 27. So I think that's, maybe there's one more. Let me try to get above, like, right below 50. I'm gonna try to get 49. See what it does. I'm gonna count. I'll stop here. .46. So, for whatever reason, there's an applause at like 30. There's more applause plus laughter plus a buzzing noise at like 40 something. I wonder what that's about. And then above 50 it goes duh, 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 duh. And that's it. So, that was the modes that I can play. There's also light mode, which, as I said, is just... yeah. Now, here's what's weird. Not sure if you noticed, but it did that. There's a reason for that. My circuit breaker is on half low batteries at the moment. It's just about to start running low. What's the symptoms of that, you may ask? The low battery, the way they work is very similar to how the Extreme 2 works, so it starts dropping in pitch. But, for whatever reason, I can't understand exactly why this is, on the circuit breaker, the button for the mode, the sound mode, if you hold that down, it'll make everything go higher pitch than normal. So much higher pitch, in fact, to where it sounds like you've circuit bent it, like this. And I can let go, and it'll go back to normal. I can also press and hold it for as long as I want. I can also just press it and let go and keep mashing it like this, which will change the pitch every time it's held down. Yeah. I'll stop here. So that's a really weird thing that mine does. I'm guessing all the circuit breaker units do that. It's just very unusual behavior. And also, I need to mention that if you're going to play a game and constantly fiddle with the controls, or with that one button, I'd recommend you start on sound mode, because if you don't, it will switch to sound mode anyway. Let me show you. If you start a game, and I press the voice button enough times, see, it changed in the middle of the game. Now if I press the sound button, See, there it goes. So you can switch between sound and voice at will. This also works with the light mode. You see, it just stopped giving me a command because I told it to do light mode. So yeah, they kinda didn't account for the fact that the mode buttons were still doing things while the game was playing. You can switch modes in the middle of a game and it won't care. There's no very easy way to do it. You just have to constantly mash the button and hope that it does it. It doesn't happen every single time, as you just heard there. So yeah, that's about all I can say about the Circuit Breaker. Oh yeah, another thing, the manual, from what I've been told, the manual actually makes the mention of you can play this as a multiplayer game. The way you do it is you have one player touch one of the contact points and the other one touch a second. And you have to be in sync and touch the correct ones at the correct time. Which is kind of an interesting concept if you think about it. It's a little bit like the crossed signals in a way, where basically the only way to make it a multiplayer game is to make up your way of how you're going to be playing it with multiple people. You can do it, it's just you need to make up your own way of doing it. It's like the hyper toss as well. I'm guessing some people might do a thing where they play super toss, and after every high toss, or like with the feet count, they pass to another player, and then they do it. That's a possibility. The Circuit Breaker actively mentions to do that. Also, you can play Break the Board in level up mode with multiple people by making the other person hold the board for you, or like wave it around or something as you're trying to hit the lights. Anyway, that's about all I can say about the Circuit Breaker. I find it really interesting how it... Yeah, you can make it do that. It's weird. I don't get it. It's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to make a video about it, is because it was brought to my attention that, hey, this thing is quite rare and not too many people have made videos about it, so why not? Anyway, that was that. Also, this switch is just amazing. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you later.
Pause button.